Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Today is Thursday, January 7th. I want to first start off with some birthday shout outs from yesterday. Destiny Moore, Madison Ragland, and Maria Delgado Espinosa. Hope that you guys had a wonderful Wednesday birthday. Today's announcements are going to be pretty brief. I didn't want to talk about a lot of the things that we've covered the last couple of days. I do want to talk for just a minute about what we saw yesterday afternoon in Washington, D.C. The social studies teacher in me wants to use vocabulary terms and talk about treason, sedition, coup d'etat, and really get into the weeds about why what we saw yesterday was not only un-American, but undemocratic. Instead, I'll leave that to some of your teachers to cover the ins and outs of those things. What I want to talk about for just a minute is the idea of emotions and separating emotions from actions, as I think that's what most relates to our student body. I talk a lot with kids in the office about emotions and why a lot of times our emotions are justified, but there's a disconnect between our emotions and our actions. And sometimes it's okay to be upset about something. So, for example, let's say the person that you wanted to win in the election does not win. It's okay to be upset and to be emotional. The same thing I talk about with kids in the hallway. When they feel like somebody slighted them or said something about them, and they're upset. It's your emotions that are okay. However, when we get to the point where our emotions cause us to do things that are unsafe or unhealthy or disrespectful to people, whether it's an individual or our society in general, that's when we have a problem. So my conversation with you guys about this is one of our emotions and our actions cannot always be the same thing. And your emotions cannot be used to justify your actions. You can't simply say, well, I did that because I was upset, so it's okay. That's not the way that the world works. We're responsible for our actions. When we talk about being a pro and being positive and respectful and taking ownership, we're responsible. We take ownership for our actions, regardless of what our emotions are. It's not an excuse. So that's kind of my message in talking about what we saw yesterday in Washington, D.C. is while your emotions of being disappointed that your candidate didn't win are okay, that does not justify the actions of taking over a building that is a representation of our democracy and who we are as a people. Part of being an American is a peaceful transition of power, something that's happened for over 200 years. When the people speak and when the people say who they want to lead them and to represent them, that's it. The people have spoken their will, and that's where it ends. So I'll let your teachers get more into the weeds about that today. But remember, positivity, respectfulness, and taking ownership will take you a long way. I'm proud to be a Cruiser, and I'm proud to work here at Middle School North. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and go Cruisers.